Oh, what's update? I tried to do one outside because it's minus 38 with wind chill here right now, and there's a blizzard coming through. I'll show you real quick. I mean, why would I show you? It doesn't. You can't feel the cold. It's snowing outside. And I tried to do one outside, and my phone shut off. It's that cold, and my drink started to freeze, and it's cold. I like the cold. That's why I live out here. I've said it before that I enjoy the lack of people that live in a place where it's super cold, and going for walks out in the cold. There's nobody out. Feels like you're walking on the moon, like you're on another planet. I love that. But this kind of cold, I swear, if I took my coat off and went and sat out there for 2 hours, I'd be near death. It's unbelievable how fucking cold it is. It got to minus 50 one time here, and it was colder here than it was on Mars or something. And that was cold, but this feels fucking colder somehow. Anyways, there's a lot going on. I am going to be going to New York next week. Excuse me, to be on the Anthony Cumia show. You know, the Opie and Anthony show, and this is, Anthony, who got in a bunch of shit for saying some racist stuff, I think, at some point. But I've watched his show, and I know his show, and he seems like a very funny guy. So Mike and I are going to be going on that. I'm flying to New York, staying in what's the name of the hotel? A super expensive hotel. I forget the name of it. Anyways, and my problem, the thing I've been experiencing since I've had this small amount of success that I'm having right now, or maybe it's big, I don't know. For me, it's big with Monstro, and the reviews are all over the place on that. Extreme, super high, super lows with all that. It's been quite the thing, and something's starting to happen to me. I can't talk to anybody about it really. I mentioned it to my family, and they're happy for me, but I don't feel anything. I think it has something to do with, I've never had money and still really don't, and never really been successful at anything, and always have just kind of enjoyed being on the fringe of society, kind of like observing everything and feeling like I'm just kind of coasting by and not making any waves, and being very comfortable doing that, and reading and doing my writing on my own. But now that I feel a little exposed, I guess, is what the feeling is. And I also feel like I should be happier than I am. I just don't feel anything. I don't know what it is. When I tell a stranger about, if they ask what I'm doing, I try to explain it. Especially out here, nobody knows what podcasting is. They kind of look at me like I'm robbing a bank or I'm doing a scam. And it makes me not want to share it with anybody. And at the same time, it feels like it's very disappointing in some situations because, again, I should be happy. And I know I've earned it in a lot of ways. But the impression I get when I tell somebody any of this stuff, it's like, oh, maybe I could do that. They're like, oh, maybe I should start a podcast. And instead of being happy for me, they're disappointed that it's not happening to them or something. So I don't tell anybody because I don't like making people feel like that, or I don't like being disappointed in the reaction. Because I know if someone told me that that all this stuff that's happening to me was happening, I'd be like, wow, that's fucking crazy, that's amazing. And a lot of the times I just get this blank look, like, oh, that's weird. That's just a strange place that I'm in right now. I guess I'm complaining. But I feel like I had to share that somewhere. Here is a good place because, obviously all you people seem to understand what I'm doing and enjoy what I'm doing, and from the comments and stuff I get from you that you seem to care about me. And I'm just not getting, I get it from my family and friends, but just the general feeling from strangers and society, I guess, is like all of a sudden people are looking at me differently when I speak of it, and I'd rather just not have that feeling at all. I'd rather just, I don't know. I'm a gambler, long time, taken a lot of losses, like used to losing thousands of dollars, you know, been in bad situations because of it. And that feeling when you take a loss, like a $5,000 loss, and you haven't told anybody that you put that amount of money down and you've lost it. I have learned to just eat it, you know, like take it. Don't complain. Don't feel sorry for myself. Just fucking get past it and make another bet and get the money back. And I think that going through those trials through my gambling career have hardened me in some strange way to, like, if I win a large amount of money, I don't feel anything. If I lose a large amount of money, I don't feel anything either. So something, I think through that, it's done something to me. So now that I've had success here, it's like I'm not feeling anything. It's the same feeling. It's like I was happier when it was just Dark Topic in the start, and I had like 500 people listening. That was better somehow. And I'll get past it. I mean, it's going to be great wherever it goes. I mean, there's 80,000 people listening to every episode of Dark Topic now. That's a fucking lot of people. And I'm getting offers, and, you know, there's ads coming in, and anyways. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I don't know. But beyond all that, I want to share what I'm going to be doing going forward. I really want to hunker down at work. So, which I have been, but I mean, just focus on that. Stay off the social media stuff. Don't read the reviews. A lot of nasty things get said to me, and I get messages sent, especially about Monstro, saying that I'm glorifying all this stuff and all the things I didn't want to be seen as. I hate being misunderstood, and I feel like I'm being very misunderstood especially with that Monstro project. But when it comes to Dark Topic, what I'm going to do going forward is, I talked to Hagar Barak, the researcher for Dark Topic, and we're going to try to do 2-part episodes, one on the Monday, Tuesday at the beginning of the month, and then another at the Monday, Tuesday at the end of the month. So 4 episodes a month, but 2 cases. And I'm going to focus on, like, hauntings. So there's this place called Fox Hollow Farm. You've probably heard of it. Herb Baumeister, he's suspected of being the I-70 killer and the I-70 strangler. So the I-70 killer, he shot women in a shopping center, just would go up to them, they'd be working at a Payless or something, and they were all very similar victims, and they resembled his wife somewhat. And around the time that these shootings would happen, he would go into the place and just, boom, shoot him in the back of the head and leave. I think he did about 10 of them. He was having problems with his wife. So it's like he was having problems with his wife, so he was taking it out on people who looked like his wife. And then there's the strangler who was around the same area in Indianapolis, who was picking up runaways or hitchhikers, young men who, you know, he thought their family wouldn't care too much if they disappeared, strangling them and leaving them on the side of the road. And these two killers are still, it's unsolved really, but it's probably this guy. And this guy as well, he would bring people back to his Fox Hollow farm. It was like a mansion, not a huge mansion, but like a ranch or something. A very nice house. There's a Ghost Adventures episode on it called, I think it's season 9, episode 9. Anyways, Ghost Adventures, Fox Hollow Farm. And this guy, I don't want to give it all away, but is apparently haunting this place. Killed a lot of men. He would bring them back to his place, and he would strangle them. I think he would dope them up, and then he would strangle them in his pool. And then he would pull them at the side of the back door and put them in the woods. And, like, his kids were finding skeletons and shit, and he was saying his dad was in the medical field, so he was saying, oh, it's a skeleton from the garage. Dad had skeletons. And so this guy is probably very prolific as a serial killer. So what I want to do is I want to focus on the hauntings of this house and intermingle them into the story itself. And for Dark Topic going forward, change gears a bit and get into the paranormal slightly, or the claims of paranormal activity, and weave them into the stories of the reasons why that place is presumed to be haunted. And I'm excited about that idea. You know, it gets a little tiresome just doing killers over and over and over again, and it's kind of like, you know, you do their childhood, and then you do the murders themselves, and then the fallout from that, and that's the formula I've been going with. And to be honest, it gets old. So I'm gonna switch things up a little bit, and hopefully you enjoy it, and package myself a little differently to maybe appeal to some of the podcasting conglomerates out there, so I can get a better deal, because the deal I have right now is not so hot. People think, you make a shitload of money on those ads, but really, for me, I'll be completely open about it. I get paid $7 per thousand people that listen to an episode, and they have me at 50,000 safely for a month. 50,000 people listen to one of my Dark Topic episodes. Like the Zed team has 50,000 listens, but it'll go up as high as 80 over like the next 4 or 5 months. So they give me, $7, 7 times 50, which is $350 for an ad, which is good. But the really good podcasting outfits, they'll give you like $20. So I need to appeal to them a little bit more and really get this thing going and rolling, because you never know when the bottom can fall out on the other things I got going on, with Monstro and all that. So I don't know. This is like just being open and whatever, sharing how I'm feeling and where I'm going. I'm nervous about going to New York. It's a big deal, sitting on like a panel with this fucking very well-known guy, and Anthony Cumia, sitting there with Mike. It'll be great. It'll be fun. It's just all a little overwhelming, and a big part of me it's strange. It's a strange feeling. A big part of me just wants to go back to being that guy waiting at a bus stop, having dreams, and having nobody believing in you, and I miss that for some reason. And I am still there in ways, but I don't know. Just sharing. I don't need any feedback, no nothing. Just thank you for letting me fucking share, and thank you for supporting me. And and another thing, I would like to start putting even more content onto Patreon. I know I can do better. So Hagar came up with a great idea. I will, because you can't cover everything in these cases, so some cases are left. So I'll leave something out, and then I'll come and I'll do an after show type thing on Patreon at the $5 tier, where I just talk about all the stuff that I left at the wayside, and it won't be prepared. It'll just be me divulging the information that I have left over in my mind about the case, and kind of wrap it up that way. So it'll be an after show, just tying up loose ends and all that. All right. Ice Cock Doors Lock Stay Paranoid. That's a long video. I wish I could do longer ones all the time, but the internet out here, it takes forever to fucking upload these. Thank you. I'm going to get to work, and I'll keep you notified about that show that I'm going to be on, the Anthony Cumia show. And wish me luck. And good luck to you, whatever you're doing as well. And, if you feel like you're in some situation where you want to become, like, at some point in your life successful in some way, or in the eyes of society, it's not everything it's cracked up to be. Not that I'm even there yet, but it really isn't. It's kind of nice to just be normal. I remember somebody saying that when I was a kid, when I was in grade 3, they tried to put me into another class. They tried to put me into, they thought that I was gifted, and it turned out I wasn't. I think I was when it came to English and when it came to writing and all the creative writing and things like that, but when it came to everything else, I wasn't up to snuff. So the principal said to my mom when that didn't go through, they said, "Isn't it nice to know that your kid's normal?" And I always thought about that. I was like, fuck, am I just normal? That sucks. But it's okay. I am just normal. We're all just normal. It's great just to be fucking normal and shrink your world and have the people around you care about, and focus on those things, rather than always be pushing towards trying to become something beyond. I think we waste a lot of time beating ourselves up about what we could be if we reached our full potential, and it's just nice to wallow in normality, and just appreciate what you have and the people and friends that you have around you. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Ice Cock Doors Lock Stay Paranoid. Thank you. Thanks for letting me share. Talk to you soon.